Good afternoon. My name's Adrian Ferner. I'm a board director with the IACCM, the International Association for Commercial and Contract Management, and we're the proud co-sponsors with ProcureCon of the second Collaborate to Innovate Awards being handed out here in Atlanta this afternoon. I have with me Alan Maloney from the University of California, Office of the President, and Alan is representing the University of California because they are the winners of the Driving Innovation Through Collaboration category. Welcome, Alan.
Thank you, Adrian.
Maybe if you could start off by giving us a bit of an overview of the the way collaboration and change has been going on in your organization.
Sure, great. So, I'll give you a little background. The University of California is 10 campuses, 5 medical centers, 3 national research labs across the state of California. Our approximately 200,000 employees with about a $24 billion operating budget. With all of the cutbacks in the state of California, which have been drastic over the last 5 years, we've had to look to supply chain to be able to start driving and helping close the gap of the funding gap. One of the ways to do that was to actually start looking at our entire organization, which started with 10 campuses, 5 medical centers, who individually worked on their own and would talk once a month and would have strategic sourcing people that worked on projects together, but didn't have one clear, defined vision or structure or goal in mind. So we put a goal of $200 million in savings over 5 years. To get to that, we put together a roadmap that includes people, process, and technology. We are putting in some new infrastructure that will have centralized contracts database, which will allow us to share across, a spend analytics system that will allow us to do all of our RFX templates that will drive that, teams that will drive it, and to have all of it have visibility. The other thing we're putting in is a spend analytics system to allow us to have the visibility across 10 different financial systems that don't talk to each other, so we can look for efficiencies and where to be driving that. With that, we will actually go through and change the makeup and the look of the whole procurement system, more or less, as we go through this process. People's jobs will change for the better. We'll have better trained people. They'll be more attached to the clients. They'll be working across campuses. They'll be sharing information. They won't be repeating work as much, and will be more efficient. And so that's the soft savings attached to the $200 million that go with it. So that's where we are today. We're a year into it, and we've got 4 more years to go. We just closed out 2011 with just under $90 million towards the $200 million goal already. So
it's impressive progress. You know, the diversity of the different organizations you're bringing together is quite impressive. You know, you've mentioned a number of the soft challenges. What's the biggest one that you've come across to date?
The biggest part in any educational setting is going to be the difference between the administrative side of things and the research and education, what they call academic freedom. So, being an organization that on average in 2010, 2011 came out with 4 inventions a day that led to patents. We drive a lot of what's going on. We also have the most Nobel laureates of any organization in education. So they all think they're unique, and the U in the University of California is not for unique, we keep telling them. So the hardest thing has been to balance that, is to be able to say that, yes, we get that you need certain things for your research and for you to do your job. And we will respect that, we'll support that, and we'll get you those at the best price, at the best value, with the best service and everything, so it's easier to do it. We'll put systems in place to make that easier to purchase and to pay. But when we talk about the administrative side of things, we'll start looking for efficiencies, and we need to have you move and change how you're doing things from the person you've been doing it through for years to support those. That has been the biggest and hardest change, and of course, like any organization, communication is the hardest one too. You can put it in writing, but can you make them read the email? Can you make them read the newsletter? So sometimes you have to make some hard changes and turn software off after you've well publicized it, and then deal with the on-site and what that means. So.
And what's been the biggest challenge for your team? Because obviously you've talked a lot about the clients and helping them understand the change. But have there been any skill sets, adjustments that you've had to make within your team?
We have. It's what I mean by the global team. So at each of our campuses, we have a material manager or director of procurement, and we've had to build them across as a stronger team, break down the barriers and get them to understand that they should be working together and that they trust each other. That if they're going to take the lead on behalf of someone from the group or themselves are going to take the lead on a topic for the whole system, that they will take off the campus hat and put on the system-wide hat and represent the global good. The other is by getting together a stronger and more advanced and active governance group. It has helped as well, so that's helped to break it down. So that's been probably the biggest part of making this change happen, is getting them to the table to start working with each other. Went from having a monthly conference call to weekly conference calls to a couple times a month in-person meetings. So we are spending a lot more time together working through the projects.
Well, it's obvious that you're a worthy winner, and there's been a lot of progress in 1 year on a 5-year program, and the 90 million is a big way towards that. So congratulations, and thanks very much for spending the time with us this afternoon.
Thank you very much, and on behalf of the University of California, we're happy to get the award, and this has been, I just represent probably 300 people across the UC system that put the time and effort into this. I just happen to be lucky enough to sit here and talk to you today.
Thank you.